In the dark corners of our world, far from the reach of science, legends breathe. Some say they are only myths, stories whispered to scare children. But what if the stories are real? What if there are creatures out there watching us? Right now, from the misty forests of North America to the shadowy depths of the ocean, these are the mysteries of cryptozoology, the study of creatures science has yet to explain. Today, we will uncover 8 of the most mysterious beings ever reported, and you will decide which ones you believe in. 1. Bigfoot, the giant of the forest. In the dense forests of North America, hikers, hunters, and campers have reported seeing something massive, standing between 7 to 9 feet tall, covered in dark brown or black hair, with enormous footprints, hence the name Bigfoot. Stories of Bigfoot stretch back centuries. Native American tribes spoke of a towering wild man who lived in harmony with the forest, but could be dangerous if provoked. In 1967, one of the most famous pieces of footage ever filmed, the Patterson-Gimlin film, appeared to show a large, ape-like creature walking casually through the woods. Skeptics call it a hoax, believers call it proof. Over the years, thousands of sightings have been recorded. Hunters have claimed to hear bone-chilling howls echoing through the trees at night. Others have found giant footprints in the mud, too big for any known animal. Could Bigfoot be a rare, undiscovered species of primate? Or is it something far stranger, a creature that slips between worlds? And if it's just a myth, who or what is leaving those tracks? 2. The werewolf, man or monster. Few creatures in folklore have inspired as much terror and fascination as the werewolf. This shape-shifting beast, part man, part wolf, is said to roam the night under the haunting glow of the full moon, driven by an uncontrollable hunger, a primal instinct that transforms a human into something monstrous. Its howls pierce the darkness, chilling the blood of anyone unlucky enough to hear them echo through the forests or lonely villages. The earliest legends trace back to Europe, where in the 16th century, stories of wolfmen terrorized small French villages. One of the most infamous cases involved Gilles Garnier, who was accused of attacking and devouring children before being executed as a werewolf. These tales were terrifying enough to spawn fear across generations, painting werewolves as symbols of humanity's darkest instincts made flesh. Yet the legend refuses to die. Even today, eyewitnesses in rural Wisconsin speak, in hushed tones, about the Beast of Bray Road, a massive, upright, wolf-like creature prowling the countryside. Descriptions tell of glowing eyes in the night, formatted with blood, and a presence that seems to radiate pure malevolence. Locals claim it moves with unnatural speed and intelligence, far beyond any ordinary wolf, as if it carries the cunning of human mind within its monstrous form. Science may dismiss these sightings as hallucinations or misidentified animals, but the persistence of the legend across centuries and continents raises an unnerving question. If werewolves are mere myths, why do they continue to appear in every culture around the world, haunting forests, fields, and folklore alike? Could there be some fragment of truth hiding in the shadows, a predator that walks the line between man and beast, still lurking in the dark corners of our world, waiting for the next full moon to rise? 3. The Hodag, the beast of Wisconsin. In the shadowy forest surrounding Rhinelander, Wisconsin, whispers of a terrifying creature have haunted locals since the late 19th century. They called it the Hodag, a beast so bizarre that no one could ever imagine it could exist in reality. According to descriptions, it had the grotesque head of a frog, the wide, grinning face of a giant elephant, short but muscular legs, razor-sharp claws capable of ripping through timber, and a spiked back and tail that made even the bravest hunters shiver. The first recorded encounter came in 1893, when a local man named Eugene Shepard claimed he had seen the Hodag with his own eyes. Not stopping there, Shepard even claimed to have captured one, displaying it to stunned townsfolk. Skeptics dismissed it as a clever hoax, yet the legend refused to die. Word spread rapidly, and soon every resident of Rhinelander had a story, a warning, or a chilling encounter to share. Even today, the forest keeps its secrets. Visitors report hearing eerie, guttural growls echoing through the night, claw marks mysteriously gouging the trees, and a feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Some theorists suggest a Hodag could be a prehistoric creature, somehow surviving extinction, lurking in the shadows, hidden from modern science. Others insist it is pure folklore, a tale invented to frighten and thrill. But perhaps that is the true power of the Hodag. Legends have a life of their own, often outliving facts, refusing to fade from memory. And in Rhinelander, the Hodag's sinister grin still seems to linger, waiting for the next brave soul to venture too deep into the haunted woods. 4. The Jersey Devil, terror of the Pine Barrens. For over 250 years, the Pine Barrens of New Jersey have been home to a terrifying legend. The Jersey Devil, said to have the body of a kangaroo, the head of a horse, bat-like wings, and a blood-curdling scream. This creature is feared by locals. The most famous origin story says that in 1735, a woman named Mother Leeds cursed her 13th child, and when it was born, it transformed into a monster and flew up the chimney into the woods. Since then, countless reports describe glowing eyes in the darkness, mysterious animal attacks, and unearthly cries echoing through the forest. In 1909, sightings of the Jersey Devil caused mass hysteria in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Schools closed, factories shut down, and armed groups hunted for the beast. But to this day, no one has ever caught it. 5. Mothman, the harbinger of doom. In the quiet riverside town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, November of 1966 marked the beginning of one of the most terrifying legends in American folklore. It began with whispers, hushed voices carrying tales of something unnatural lurking in the night. Locals describe seeing a figure unlike anything they'd ever known, a towering, man-like creature with massive, leathery wings that spanned wider than any bird, and eyes that glowed a fiery crimson, burning through the darkness like twin coals from hell itself. This was no ordinary animal. This was the birth of a legend they would call the Mothman. For 13 relentless months, the people of Point Pleasant lived in fear. Sightings multiplied. Some swore they saw the creature gliding silently above the treetops, its wings never flapping, as though carried by an invisible force. Others described hearing an eerie, low-pitched hum echoing through the forest and abandoned streets, a sound that made the air vibrate and their skin crawl. Farmers found their livestock mutilated. Drivers reported a winged shadow chasing their cars, and families locked their doors at night, praying not to hear those glowing eyes tapping at their windows. This was no simple folktale. Panic gripped the town. Some believed it was a beast from the depths of the unknown. Others whispered it was no creature at all, but a warning, a messenger, a dark omen of something yet to come. Then, on December 15th, 1967, the unthinkable happened. The Silver Bridge, a vital structure connecting Point Pleasant across the Ohio River, collapsed in a horrific instant, plunging dozens of vehicles into the freezing waters below. 46 lives were lost. And just like that, the town was consumed not only by grief, but by a chilling question. Had the Mothman been trying to warn them all along? The legend didn't die with Point Pleasant. From the snowy mountains of Russia to the industrial heartland of Chicago, witnesses across the globe have reported seeing similar creatures, winged red-eyed phantoms, almost always appearing before catastrophe. Plane crashes, mine disasters, earthquakes. Wherever tragedy looms, the Mothman seems to follow. Skeptics dismiss the stories, calling them hallucinations, mass hysteria, or simple misidentifications of owls or cranes. But those who have seen it swear on their lives that it was no bird, no trick of the mind. It was something else, something that doesn't belong to our world. So who or what is the Mothman? A supernatural guardian, warning humanity of approaching doom? A sinister omen, heralding death and despair? Or perhaps an entity so far beyond human understanding that we cannot even begin to name its purpose? One thing is certain. Those who claim to have stared into its glowing red eyes never forget the terror that followed. For in that moment, they say, you don't just see the Mothman. You feel the weight of something ancient, something watching, something reminding you that the world is far darker and far stranger than we will ever know. 6. Owlman, the British Mystery. Across the windswept moors and tangled woodlands of Cornwall, England, a legend has taken root. One that is whispered in hushed tones by villagers and feared by those who dare to wander the countryside at night. This is the story of the Owlman, a creature as terrifying as it is mysterious. First reported in 1976, near the ancient village of Menehune, the Owlman was said to descend silently from the treetops, its wings stretching wider than any bird native to the region. Witnesses described it as a human-sized owl, cloaked in feathers as black as the midnight sky, with talons sharp enough to rip through flesh and bone. But what set the Owlman apart from any earthly predator were its eyes, glowing, otherworldly orbs that locked onto their victims with a gaze so piercing it felt as though the creature could see straight into the soul. Those unfortunate enough to encounter the Owlman tell stories that send shivers down the spine. Unlike normal bird of prey, the Owlman does not swoop or hunt in haste. Instead, it waits, perched motionless among the branches. It watches. Hours may pass, but its stare never falters, as if the creature is studying, calculating, or perhaps judging. Witnesses describe an unnatural silence that follows its arrival, as though the very woods themselves hold their breath in fear. Dogs refuse to bark. Birds cease to sing. The night itself becomes heavy, suffocating, and alive with dread. Some locals believe the Owlman is tied to the land itself, a guardian spirit of Cornwall's ancient churches and sacred sites, protecting the area from intruders. But others whisper something far more sinister. Could it be a predator from another dimension, slipping into our world only under the cover of night? Or perhaps a herald of misfortune, appearing only when tragedy looms? While sightings are rare, they are unforgettable. Those who have seen the Owlman swear that its gaze lingers long after the encounter is over. They describe dreams plagued by glowing eyes, shadows that move in the corners of their homes, and the constant feeling of being watched. Unlike many cryptid tales which fade with time, the Owlman story leaves scars of the mind and scars of the soul. To this day, the legend endures. Travelers still report uneasy feelings near Menehune Church, where the first sightings occurred. Some refuse to go near the woods after dark, while others claim to hear rustling wings overhead when the moonlight fades. Is the Owlman a misidentified bird, a product of fear and imagination, or something far older, far darker, that stalks the Cornish countryside when no one is watching? One thing is certain. If you ever find yourself walking alone in the forest of Cornwall, and you feel the weight of unseen eyes pressing down on you, don't look up, for the Owlman may already be there, perched above, waiting. Set in Menehune, the hidden people of Hawaii, far from the haunted woods of Europe and the misty mountains of America, lies a paradise bathed in sunlight and ocean breeze, the islands of Hawaii. But beneath the tropical beauty, beneath the emerald valleys and volcanic ridges, whispers a hidden race echo through Hawaiian legend. They are known as the Menehune, the hidden people. Unlike towering beasts or monstrous cryptids, the Menehune are described as small, human-like beings, rarely more than 2 feet tall. But their size is deceptive. According to tradition, the Menehune possess skills beyond imagination. They are master builders, craftsmen whose talents rival the gods themselves. It is said they can raise stone temples, aqueducts, and intricate fish ponds overnight, disappearing before dawn leaves a trace of their presence. Entire walls of perfectly stacked stone still stand in Hawaii today, baffling historians. Could these be the silent handiwork of the Menehune? Stories paint them in many shades. Some call them playful tricksters, mischievous but harmless, delighting in pranks on weary travelers, moving objects, causing strange sound in the night, or leading wanderers astray into the thick jungle. Yet other tales take a darker turn. In these versions, the Menehune are guardians, fierce protectors of Hawaii's sacred places. Trespassers who violate the land's sanctity are said to face swift retribution, punished by unseen forces that strike with uncanny precision. What makes the legend more mysterious is the evidence left behind. Across the islands, ancient structures defy explanation. The Aokoko fish pond, for example, stretches hundreds of feet and is built with such precision that many locals believe no ordinary humans could have constructed it. Archaeologists insist these are the works of early Hawaiian societies, but skeptics wonder if history has hidden the truth. Perhaps the Menehune were not myths at all, but forgotten people erased from memory, surviving only in whispers and stone. And then comes the greatest question: are they truly gone? For generations, families have told stories of fleeting glimpses, tiny figures darting through moonlit valleys, shadows moving along ridgelines, laughter echoing the forest when no one is there. Some believe the Menehune never vanished. They are simply hiding, retreating deeper into the earth and forest, waiting for the day humanity pushes too far into their world. Are the Menehune simply folklore? Children's tales meant to teach respect for the land? Or are they the remnants of something older, something far stranger, a civilization cloaked in secrecy, with knowledge and power beyond our understanding? One thing is certain. In Hawaii, when the jungle grows silent and the night feels alive, some say the Menehune are watching, silent, patient, hidden in the shadows of paradise. The Globster, the ocean's mystery. The forests may hold their beasts and the mountains their shadows, but the deepest and most ancient mysteries of our planet lie beneath the waves. The ocean, vast, dark, and almost alien in its nature, covers more than 70% of the Earth, yet we have explored less than 10% of it. What sleeps in the remaining 90? Every so often, the sea itself seems to answer that question by spitting out something horrifying onto our shores. These grotesque, shapeless masses of decaying flesh are known as globsters, oceanic enigmas that defy science and fuel nightmares. Imagine walking across a quiet beach at dawn, only to find the sand broken by a hulking, monstrous body. No bones, no recognizable features, just hair, tissue, and a smell that clings to the air like death itself. Not fish, not whale, not squid, something else entirely, something we cannot name. One of the most famous of these sea-born horrors appeared in 1960 on the shores of Tasmania. It was enormous, nearly 20 feet long, a pale, bloated mass of flesh covered in what looked like coarse, matted hair. There were no skeletal remains, no jaws, no fins, no identifiable organs. Marine biologists rushed to study it, desperately searching for an explanation. It's a whale carcass, they said. A giant squid, others argued, but the evidence refused to agree. The creature had no traits that matched any known animal of the sea. To this day, its origin remains unsolved. And Tasmania was only the beginning. Similar globsters have surfaced across the globe, washing up on the shores of Bermuda, Newfoundland, the Philippines, Chile, and even along populated coastlines where thousands bore witness. Each new discovery sparked waves of panic and wild theories. Are these the corpses of deep-sea monsters? Survivors of a prehistoric age when colossal beasts ruled the oceans? Or are they something darker? Creatures that live in the black abyss, in trenches so deep sunlight has never touched them, rising only in death to remind humanity of the horrors still lurking below. The ocean has always been a place of terror and fascination, a world we cannot conquer, a kingdom we do not rule. To most, the globster is simply rotting flesh. But for those who have stood before one, felt the earth shake beneath its size, and smelled its otherworldly decay, it becomes something far more terrifying, a messenger, a reminder that the ocean does not give up its secrets willingly. And perhaps the most chilling thought of all is this. If these are only the ones that drift ashore, what monsters still remain in the endless black depths, alive, hunting, and waiting to rise again? From the deepest untouched forests where shadows whisper secrets, to the endless open seas where mysteries lurk beneath the waves, humanity has always been haunted by creatures that science cannot explain yet. These beings live in the stories of our ancestors, carved in myths and legends, told around fires in the dark of night. But what if those stories are more than just tales? What if the glowing eyes seen in the wilderness, the strange figures caught in blurry photographs, and the eerie sounds echoing in the night are proof that they are real, hiding, watching, waiting for the right moment to step into our world? Are they guardians of forgotten realms, lost species from an ancient past, or something far beyond human understanding? One thing is certain. The truth is out there closer than you think. So the question is, do you really want to find it? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this is only the beginning of the journey into the unknown.